Hi, I'm Doug Morris. I'm the product owner for the iMIS Data Management Suite, and I'm going to show you how to import and, more importantly, update activities. For our case scenario today, we're going to actually be sending a spreadsheet out to a volunteer and asking them to make some calls regarding renewals. I've created a spreadsheet for this volunteer. It has IDs, it has the activity type, the name of the individual to call, their phone number, and then a date. I'm going to want this date to be consistent. I'm asking that volunteer to update the date they called and then what happened on that call. You can see in this case, the volunteer hasn't been doing very much, but they did make 2 phone calls. So because these activities don't exist in iMIS right now, I'm going to go ahead and create them, and then I'm going to send this spreadsheet back to the volunteer and ask him or her to do a little more work. So let's bring the spreadsheet in. Now, I'm going to use iImport because it is a spreadsheet. First thing we're going to do is find that spreadsheet, my renewal call spreadsheet. Because these are all brand new activities, I could do create. Create is always the safest option. It's not going to overwrite data, it's going to create new records. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do an update or create in the rare case that, I'm going to do this again. So update or create, now I need to map my fields. The first thing I'm going to do is choose my activity, and I'm going to choose the iMIS ID, and it's mapping to the column of my spreadsheet ID. Very important, you must do a match on. If you don't at least match on the ID, you're going to erase every activity in iMIS. You're not going to erase it, you're going to update it to what's in this spreadsheet. Because it says, well, you want to update activities, that's great. You're not matching on anything, well then I'll overwrite every activity you have. So at a bare minimum, we're going to match on ID. Next up, our activity type. We are going to do the activity type, and we're going to match on that as well. At this point, we are looking for IDs and activity types. So if this record had more than 1 call activity, I would be updating both of them, or all of them, however many they had. So the next mapping that's very important we're going to do here is a transaction date. You really have to have at least 3 fields that you're going to match on. One should be iMIS ID, the other should be activity type, and then you need at least another field. The 3 of these fields should combine to give the data management suite enough information so that it knows what record to update. And if these 3 don't match, it's going to insert a new record. Let's go ahead and finish up our mappings. If you remember, I had other data out there. I had the date of the call, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in user-defined 6. I'm not matching on that because these dates change. Next up is my notes regarding the call, and we're going to just drop those in the note field, and we're not matching on that. So everything's here. Let's save these mappings because we're going to use this again, and so this is going to be insert call activities or update if they exist. Great. Save. Let's go ahead and submit this. Very important. Right down here, it's either going to update the existing records matching on these 3 key fields, or it's going to create a new record if these 3 fields don't match. Let's continue. It is now running the update. And one of the records that it's finished on is Robert here. And if we jump over to his activities, we can see there's the call and the date of the call, interested in rejoining. Perfect, the activity's in. Next up, our volunteer's gotten back to us and done some additional updates. Notice he or she has added in a couple extra calls here. And here's some more information, call back ASAP, great. But look, they added in 3 new records, and these have different dates. So what we have is we have an update to records 1 through 11, and we have 3 new records, 3 new activities. So let's go ahead and do that. So back to iImport, because we're using a spreadsheet. We're going to go ahead and grab our updated renewal calls. We're going to do update or create, same as before. And because I've done all the work here and we're ready to go, what I can do is load my mappings back in, and that is already right out here. It's already saved. Insert call activities or update if they exist. everything's mapped. I can hit submit again. Very important, same sort of thing. We're going to update and we're going to match on those fields. Continue. I should see, if I didn't mess this up, 10 or 11 updates and 3 brand new records. So you can see right now it's updating all of these activities and everything looks great. And so I'm going to copy that. Perfect. Everything looks pretty good here. Notice the brand new 3 records were created down here for 1010. We can jump back into iMIS. We can go and find another contact that was actually updated. So we'll pull up ID 1005. There's that activity now that's been updated. 5.5, call back ASAP. And then if you remember, there were some other new ones that were created as well. So we got here for 1012, they were done too. So we go out here and find contact, find ID, and we will see that Dorothy should have a new activity with dated 5.5. So very important, you must match on at least 3 fields and you must use that match on feature. If you have any questions, support@csiinc.com. Thank you.